There was once a young man who was afraid of everything. He was afraid of heights, of water, of animals, of people, of failure, of death. He lived in constant fear and anxiety, and he could not enjoy anything in life. One day, he decided to seek help from a Zen master who lived in a nearby monastery. He went to the monastery and asked the Zen master to teach him how to be fearless. The Zen master agreed to help him, but he said that the young man had to follow his instructions without question. The young man agreed, and the Zen master told him to come back the next day. The next day, the young man returned to the monastery, and the Zen master told him to climb a tall tree that stood in the courtyard. The young man was terrified, but he did not want to disobey the Zen master. He climbed the tree with great difficulty, trembling and sweating all the way. When he reached the top of the tree, he looked down and saw the Zen master standing below. The Zen master shouted at him, "Jump!" The young man was shocked. He thought that the Zen master was crazy. He said, "Master, I can't jump. I will die." The Zen master said, "Trust me, jump." The young man hesitated for a moment, but then he remembered his promise to follow the Zen master's instructions. He closed his eyes and jumped. As he was falling, he felt a sudden rush of adrenaline and excitement. He felt alive and free for the first time in his life. He opened his eyes and saw that he was not falling to his death, but landing on a large net that the Zen master had prepared for him. He realized that the Zen master had tricked him into overcoming his fear of heights. He felt grateful and relieved, and he thanked the Zen master for his lesson. The Zen master smiled and said, "This is only the beginning. Come back tomorrow." The next day, the young man returned to the monastery, and the Zen master told him to swim across a river that flowed nearby. The young man was scared, but he remembered his experience with the tree. He trusted the Zen master and followed his command. He jumped into the river and swam across it with great effort. He felt a sense of accomplishment and joy when he reached the other side. He looked back and saw that the Zen master had followed him in a boat. The Zen master congratulated him for his courage and told him to come back tomorrow. The next day, the young man returned to the monastery, and the Zen master told him to enter a cage that contained a ferocious tiger. The young man was horrified, but he did not want to disappoint the Zen master. He entered the cage with trembling legs and faced the tiger. The tiger roared and lunged at him, but he dodged its attack. He realized that the tiger was chained to a post and could not reach him. He understood that the Zen master had tricked him again into facing his fear of animals. He felt a surge of confidence and pride, and he thanked the Zen master for his wisdom. The Zen master nodded and said, "You have done well. Come back tomorrow." The next day, the young man returned to the monastery, and the Zen master told him to go to a nearby town and talk to as many strangers as possible. The young man was nervous, but he remembered his encounters with the tree, the river, and the tiger. He believed in himself and followed the Zen master's advice. He went to the town and started talking to people on the streets, in shops, in cafes, in parks. He found out that people were friendly and helpful, and that he had nothing to fear from them. He enjoyed conversing with them and learning from them. He felt a connection with them and realized that he was not alone in this world. He returned to the monastery and told the Zen master about his experience. The Zen master praised him for his bravery and told him to come back tomorrow. The next day, the young man returned to the monastery, and the Zen master told him to sit down with him in meditation. The young man did as he was told, and they sat in silence for a long time. Then the Zen master asked him, "What are you afraid of now?" The young man thought for a while, and then he said, "Nothing." The Zen master smiled and said, "You have learned how to be fearless. You have faced your fears one by one, and you have discovered that they were only illusions created by your mind. You have realized that you have nothing to lose in this life but everything to gain." The young man felt a deep peace and happiness in his heart. He thanked the Zen master for his guidance and asked him, "What should I do now?" The Zen master said, "Go and live your life. Be yourself. Be free. Be fearless."